え
Here we have three of these pets. They go adventure around Michigan with some different effect. I've been in my show since then the pets are constantly explain those things. Oh yeah, now we're rolling down. Na save us from the time of trial. Happy Doggy Dog Show. Wow.
Guys, what television show are we gonna watch?
TV shows? Nah, some are boring and some are different.
Then we switch to sports and news channels instead.
That is greater for me than I thought. So let's go watch.
Breaking news. We know that Mykoreandic loves posting about food and Korean content. But what about if he doesn't say no to the woman of his same look and say to her yeah and cries out loud? Well, here's the news for a reason. So, Mykoreandic has over thousands and millions of hate comments about him not saying no, and the angry, arguing stampede of comments are invading over Mykoreandic's Korean YouTube channel tour for dislikes and menace over and over again at New York City hotel. Now, only one of his old content, including the old food videos, makes him say no to her, but for some reason he decides to stop saying no in his new content as a lie, and it was police, angry, exaggerated comments of people from locations, fines, probation, and Kim Jong-Un launching missiles to Mykoreandic's hell of death. So, we're now going live to Reporter 2 who with an angry stampede of comments. Hello, and thanks, reporter. So, I'm in New York City being blocked by angry people comments over Mykoreandic's Korean YouTube channel tour. As you could see, police, what did the comments say to Leonardo Kim? Because I've left over you. Well, what did the savage comments on Mykoreandic's content said to Kim? Why don't you say no to her? Just say no. No more yaws. Man, I'm gonna force you to say no to her. And come on, it's not that bad to say no. Well, these messages to Kim are completely toxic to Leonardo Kim if you know what I mean. Well then, why aren't you arresting Leonardo Kim? He's the South Korean TikTok star. Comments. That's what the cause is. So, we'll arrest Leonardo Kim first. Then, as your first reporter starts the second news, Kim Jong-Un will do the trick for him to stop. So, see ya! Bye, police! Now, people, remember the rule. If your comments want to hear you do stuff that they could hear about them, try it to yourself. It's not even that difficult. Period. So, back to you, reporter. Thank you, reporter 2. Now do what he says about the rule, guys, and I'll keep you all updated. So, right now, we're starting a commercial break.
Guys, I think Mykoreandic is now in big trouble for comments.
What? Why do you say that?
Because we have to comment on Mykoreandic to say no to her, or even people will go worse for Leonardo.
What about if we do it later, and first we wait for the second news to be on TV? Let's turn on news again.
Breaking news. So we already covered the first news report about the situation, and now we're receiving the second report. So let's go to reporter 2 again for more info. Thank you, reporter. Right now we're in the court getting Leonardo Kim sentenced to prison for over 90 days by the police, and the people comments are now testimonies. Now, let's roll this scene for a second report. People, as testimonies, please continue your speech about the Korean witness now.
Okay, so we were just watching Mykoreandic's old and new content videos, and apparently we are mad that in his new content about food, he still says yeah, a lot. And he wasn't saying no to her, so that's why we were exaggerated, offensive, toxic and angry over Leonardo Kim. And we were also signing a petition for Kim to say no to her, but he still ignores it as a lie, a lot.
So, that was your evidence, dude.
So, you'll say that he can't say no to her with food?
Yes.
Well, Leonardo Kim, it looks like you will be sentenced with your girl to prison over 90 days with fines for you to pay in a week.
Now, guilty.
This is your cell, with no food, no TV, no nice things, no water, no air conditioning, no cooking, no money, and no learning.
And we have your toxic visitors.
And that is how we saw him as a proof evidence from all of the Americans and South Koreans. Back to you, reporter. Thanks for the scene, reporter 2. Now, starting the commercial break.
I realized we're in Michigan, and Kim is from New York City, farthest from us.
Let's watch some TV someday.
아, 에이. 냥냥.